Hello and welcome to Candle Red, which is the seventh book in the series. And we start with a little funny bone tickling your way. The chapter's name is called Let's Laugh. Well, the SDG tags are goal number 17, partnership with the goals, because it's so important that we just unite together, and there's nothing better than laughing or smiling. As there's a Chinese proverb which says that everybody smile and laugh in the same language. I mean, you can speak Mandarin or English, or it could be Malayalam or Tamil. We all laugh the same way, maybe a little louder or shorter. So, this also is a quality education. So, as a teacher, your first part would be bringing humor in any conversation is an art, is a skill. Do not get fooled by the stand-up comedians. They make a lot of effort to be where they are. As it says, it takes courage to speak. Involve your students and tell them that what is more difficult, to make somebody cry or to make somebody laugh. And trust me, a lot of actors have conveyed that crying is easier, creating an emotion. Just talk about accident, death, disease. But laughter, it takes a lot of effort and sometimes pain for making people to laugh. How do you define humor? For some people, humor is a tool to push away something. Emotions, humor is a tool. Sarcasm, how is it different from humor? One of the greatest asset for anybody who uses humor is the delivery. The right moment, the right time. As we always say, tomato is a fruit, but do not use it in the fruit salad, right? Humor for some people is an integral part of how they talk about. So this is where we are looking at journal rule, that a good humor should be, intersected in your conversation. Not necessarily everything about this should be humorous, but it could be simple anecdotes. You were traveling by a bus and what the bus conductor said. Or for example, a very lovely, I love my PJs. PJs are basically, the jokes which are really deadpan, not very funny. For example, why did the bus conductor not die when the bus met with an accident? And the answer is he was a bad conductor. Well, this or that and things like that. Common phrases. So you can use the word about simple interchangeably about a word pant and point. There was a person who kept saying, "Did you get the pant? Did you get the pant?" In his own, dry way. People started looking at saying he was saying point, but the word pant came in. I mean, I sound very dead right now, but that's exactly what deadpan humor is. Not necessarily everything that is you think is humorous could be possible. It's very awkward when you say a joke and it's like flat. How do it's an embarrassment. Go watch Inside Out 2. Embarrassment is the largest emotion there, because it's embarrassment could be a small thing. You just yawn in a class and everybody's looking at you. You make a video and the reel did not come out well, but it blows up so huge. People who speak humor are very courageous. Observational humor. You look around how a teacher says, sometimes you have this repeatedly word, well, oh, and you observe and you make a humor on it. Topical humor, something that comes in news, current affairs, usually politics, cricket. It's a fantastic way of topical humor. Again, we are looking at just a humor over and over again. I think perhaps it's a repeated version here, but let's start with a perspective now. 1.1, share a joke. So the first day when you're talking about it, perhaps it would be good as a resource where you tell your students to come prepared with a joke. And it's not necessary that all jokes would be funny, but at least an effort. A teacher comes and says, "John, why are you late?" John says, "The sign before the school said that go slow, ma'am, and I went slow." Uh, I think, this is not humorous when things have been repeated in the print, but it's unfortunate. The same thing goes with humor. You accept some mistakes, you accept part of it, but it is great to convey that, 72% of consumers, brands, want to be funny on social media. It could be a travel blogger, a food review, it could be someone selling a sneaker to you or Taylor Smith. Anything you're talking about, funniness will go a long, long way. So you can talk about humor. You can even rate the humor. You can say, okay, let's even laugh. Just pretend to laugh, and then you ultimately everyone starts laughing at the joke and then at themselves. 1.2, we say sarcasm and wit. Very, very beautiful words we're using. Sarcasm is when you point out something which is obvious in a very, very dry, dead way. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I love Mondays. Basically, it's sarcasm where you hate going to school or office on Mondays, the way you say it. Wit is something which is witty, which is funny, and you add some humor to it. So example, you could use schools and uniforms. Oh well, schools look like military service when we wear uniforms to it. Sarcasm. Monsoon and potholes. Fantastic. I always feel I'm landing on moon whenever there is monsoon with the way I ride my bikes on Mumbai roads. This is witty. Sarcasm with witty. Husband wife jokes, of course, too young for kids, but you could use something around them. Finally, our last conversation is around stand up comedy. That stand up is an art today. It's a respected form of speaking. Takes a lot of courage. Who are your favorite stand ups? Perhaps Jerry Seinfeld was an old stand up. Veer Das is very popular. Who won some awards there? Local Indian stand ups are there. There's a comic star with Biswa and Zakir Khan. People who are very, very prashasti. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're completely away from it. But how do you do a stand up? Do an experiential anecdote with a student saying getting stuck in a lift. What kind of stand up they can have? Maybe they're stuck with a man with a dog, and how the person is scared. Or you are stuck with a very, very smelly man, or you're stuck with a very, very lame person who's cracking jokes and you're not feeling laughter. It's wonderful to think of it. Trust me, if you can do fantastic short stand up, pun and sarcasm, you are very confident. Also, find out some of the popular comedians of your time. It can even be as simple as Laurel and Hardy and Charlie Chaplin. I don't even know kids think of them or know them. What about the attire, the pranks, the delivery system, the appearance, the antics, and the sarcasm? All the best. Let's laugh a little. Let's have more fun. And later, you can also add a little bit of conversation. Should be about political and religious issues? Could you use foul language? How much do you endorse? I hate it, but can we do good comedy with clean comedy? Well, Atul Sharma, one of my favorite ones. A lot of areas you can think of it. Think of your favorite comedian. Maybe you are one of them, or a class clown there. All the best. Let's laugh a little.